My name is Stephen Von Holland. I am a Canadian at an American camp right now. I am here to clear up some misconceptions that we have about Canada. It is not Canada, it is not Canada, and I am not a Canadian. I am a Canadian. As a Canadian, I am often approached on my language. I tend to say "a" now and then, even though people seem to think I should say it every phrase. I think it's odd that I do not. Now, I'm going to say something I've noticed. It appears that I say the "a" in the middle of a phrase, like flag. It is not a flag, it is a flag. It is like an egg with an FL at the start, flag. Now, we do the same thing with bags. It's not a bag, it's a bag. Now, we are making little cracks about my computer lagging instead of lagging. Lagging sounds wrong. Lagging is normal, okay? That is my Canadian language. Well, I have to talk about the word about. It is about, not a boot. I say about, not a boot. The closest I come to a boot is a boat. And that's only if I'm tired. Now, being a Canadian, my army, my national army, my country's army, is often insulted. Our infantry are accused of using snowballs while fighting. This is not true. Any coolers we may take with us contain beer. And the beer is Molson Canadian, a Canadian company that makes actually good beer. Now, our Navy, on the other hand, does not use icebergs. We have a fleet. It is more than 2 ships, and the smallest ships are not rubber duckies, despite any cartoonist efforts to insult our Navy. We do not train penguins as attack dogs. In fact, they don't even live in the north. They are only in Antarctica. Now, I must address the place where we live. I do not live in an igloo. An igloo is a really old part of our heritage. I do not live in an igloo, and when I'm talking to Americans online, sometimes they'll ask how I get my computer to work in an igloo. This is the American I consider intelligent, until I am. Now, I will discuss a very painful and delicate process of pre-cutting the blocks with all the little spacers ready, so we can put in the wires as we build this igloo. Now, some Americans will believe this. It is sad, it is pathetic, but funny. I do not worship a beaver. A beaver is an animal that we hunted for pelts. Apparently it was good for hats back in the old days. Hockey. I know all the rules to hockey, and yes, I've played hockey, but I've never played on an actual team. It is not our country's only sport. I personally play rugby. We have many other sports, and hockey is not one of the ones I play, even though I am Canadian. I've had the question asked if we have Walmarts in Canada. The answer is yes, and yes, immigrants still run it. Now, we also have another store here. It sells things that perform the same function, but it doesn't fall apart after 2 weeks. We have the same fast food chains. We have McDonald's and we have Burger King. Burger King sucks. Plain and simple. Now, Starbucks coffee. It is expensive. It uses language that nobody knows what it is. Grand, tall, short. Use simple language. Venti. Exactly my point. It's confusing. Don't interrupt. Thank you anyways. We use Tim Hortons. We have a large, a medium, and a small. Simple language. A simple language that everybody can understand. We do not have maple candies in the western side of Canada. I have in fact never tasted one of the original maple syrup candies. The stores that sell them are only in Quebec, basically. Now, you might get a maple syrup flavored donut or something at Tim Hortons, but it is actually relatively new. Now you want to talk about 7-Elevens. Yes, 7-Eleven is the most common stop for a Slurpee. Now, we also have a Mac store, which is pretty much the same thing.
We don't have Mac here.
But it has a lot more variety, usually. 7-Elevens tend to be cheap with 4 or so flavors to choose from. Macs generally have like 12. Okay, what you guys call a dollar bill, we call a loonie. It is not a bill, it is a coin. And yes, it is a dollar. People call it a loonie because there is a picture of a loon on the back of it. No, Canadians are not loonies like my brother-in-law would like to say. Now, I am not British, I am Canadian. We've been in our own country for quite some time now. Now, in conclusion to this video, I would like to say hi to Miriam and all the folks at home, and that I've had a great time at camp, but there's no place like home.
That's not how it's spelled.
It's flag. Okay,
Egg
well,
is spelled
this look at it here. You don't want to say that's a flag. You want to call that a flag, right? Well, let's look at the word field. F-I-E-L-D. It's not a field, it's a field.
Yeah.
So, why are you trying to argue that every single other word follows the regular rules that we're taught, like